Hello, my name is Justin Larscheid, and this is week 7 discussion for Intro to IO Psychology. Any of the information from the weekly readings that I found interesting? The first reading when it discussed Fessinger's original components of cohesion, which are interpersonal attraction, task commitment, and group pride, which each bear a significant independent relation to performance across many criteria and categories. That's really interesting because that just kind of reinforces the fact of how task conflict or task contexts have a huge impact on performance with regards to group cohesion, which is really interesting and reinforces a lot of the other stuff that I had read in a few of my other classes. Also reflects specifically on how diversity is a challenge at work or not. It can be a challenge at work because when you're working with a diverse group of people who come from different backgrounds, have different cultural norms, beliefs, things like that, sometimes that can add friction because one way a person operates or handles business or embodies certain relationship tactics and handles certain interactions can be vastly different from another person. And those differences will always add some bit of contention. Reflect specifically on how diversity is a challenge as not a challenge at work. Diversity can also lead to creativity. Having people from different perspectives and different backgrounds and different experiences can lead to some really amazing things, and an interplay of ideas and thoughts and perceptions that can allow a group to move past the bounds of, let's say, one mode of thought and transcend into a plethora of ideas that can really benefit the group's performance. Do you prefer working in a group? Why or why not? I am the owner and operator of a handyman and remodeling company, and so I usually find myself working alone. However, it's situational. In some situations, I prefer to work in a group. I prefer to work with my employees. I want to engage with them and I want to work with them on a project. It invigorates me, and it helps me get my team excited, my employees excited about the job, and helps them find a little bit more purpose than just making money, which is not a purpose at all. Like I said, it's just situational. What are situations in which group diversity could lead to positive outcomes? I had a couple of notes on this one. Some of the things, the positive things that can come from group diversity are the ability to adapt to different strategies, issues, and needs. You can gather more information. You can build social as well as task cohesion, and you can identify clear mutual long-term goals, which is really, really beneficial to overall performance of a group. Some more stuff that I had. That makes it that in which group diversity would lead to positive outcomes would be factors that determine well-developed groups. Factors that determine well-developed groups: cohesiveness, conflict management, balance between socio-emotional and task needs, effective communication, and involvement. Those are all great positive outcomes of working with group diversity and having good cohesiveness. What are situations in which group diversity lead to negative outcomes? When the situation pertains to relationship conflict. When relationship conflict is when conflict arises out of disagreements with personal matters. So, like, let's say if you're in a relationship conflict with somebody, it would be over the fact that you felt personally attacked, that they didn't like your work, and you need to redo it, instead of thinking it as like a task conflict where it just focusing specifically on the work, what was wrong with it, and fix the problems. You internalize it with relationship conflict. You think of it as you're incompetent, or they think you're incompetent, even when if they wouldn't even be thinking that. You perceive it as an internal attack, and that's when situations in which group diversity would lead to negative outcome, because um, diversity, there's going to be obviously differences in the people, the personalities, who they are, how they compose themselves. And when um, you get these people together in a group and they don't have the right communication skills and the right social awareness and emotional intelligence of themselves, intrapersonal awareness, they that can lead to a negative outcome. There people can't move beyond the personal attack to focus on the task and the group performance to then lead to a positive outcome. It always stays at that internalized spot where they said something bad about you and you're going to internalize it, and it can't move from there. So that is it, and I hope you enjoy.